Hello, welcome to a new video of Dynasty War. So last two videos I talk about the upgrade order and what to upgrade in the army section. In this video I'll start talking about the defense section. And since there are many different structures and traps, I'll split them down into a couple videos. The first one, we'll talk about the Crossbow, Meteor Crossbow, Archer Tower, Catapult, Dragon Canyon, and the Alchemist Tower. These five are probably the early stage, early game defense that you get, and you can upgrade them to a pretty high level at a relatively low headquarter level. So I'll focus on these basic structure first. So the first and the second structure you get is the Meteor Crossbow and the Archer Tower. If you look at their DPS and HP, they're pretty much the same. Archer Tower has a little bit more DPS and HP right now, and the bigger difference is that the Archer Tower can attack both ground and stealth, and it actually has 10 tower range, while the Meteor Crossbow has only 9. So at the early game, the Archer Tower has had an obvious advantage over the Meteor Crossbow. And because for that reason, it takes more resource to upgrade. It takes twice as much coins to upgrade than the Meteor Crossbow, and it takes more time. So right now, obviously these are at level 1, so the upgrade time is in minutes. But when you get to the days, at the same level, the Archer Tower takes an additional 2 days compared to the Meteor Crossbow to upgrade, and the cost is generally twice as much until level 10. And here is why. You can take a look at from level 1 to level 2. The increase in damage is 4 and 50 in HP. And the Meteor Crossbows the increase is 3 damage per second and 50 HP as well. So the increase in HP is pretty much the same. But the DPS, the Archer Tower has a bigger increase in DPS, and it starts at a higher DPS. However, up until level 9, level 10, that's when the Meteor Crossbow has a bigger increase each level in DPS and HP. At that point, I think after level 10, your Meteor Crossbow will have a higher DPS and a higher HP than the Archer Tower. And at that point, the cost will have a big jump that will be pretty similar to the same level of Archer Tower. So at that point, you can see that they start to diverge. The Meteor Crossbow has a higher HP, higher DPS, only attack ground troops, but Archer Tower now is weaker in terms of both DPS and HP, but it could attack stealth troops. So it's a little bit more balanced at a higher level. In the beginning, really there's no reason why you wouldn't prioritize upgrading Archer Tower first, because Archer Tower is much stronger. Well, it's not much stronger, but it has more benefits to it. But the next defense I want to talk about is the Dragon Canyon. The Dragon Canyon is, even at level 1 to level 2, it takes a whole day, and it takes a lot of money in the early game. But at the later game, it is the defense structure that does not take a lot of coins, that does not take a lot of resource, but take a long time to upgrade. And it only targets alchemists, healers, typing towers, and towers masters. Has a 7 tile range. In my opinion, this thing is not very useful in the early game. You rarely will get attacked by people using these troops, and even if they do, it's not going to be that high level, and you probably don't have the treasure to make your Dragon Canyon good enough to counter them. It has a pretty high DPS, 40 to right now it's 40, level 2 is 50, but healers have a lot of HP, so it probably take like 4 or 5 shots for the Dragon Canyon to kill them. They attack pretty quickly, so they're not completely useless. But at the early game, it's really useless because no one uses these troops to attack you anyways, and they cost a lot of coin and time to upgrade in the early game. So I wouldn't recommend upgrading this to the max level at all time. You can probably keep it 1 or 2 level lower than most of your other structure until you get to maybe headquarter 10, headquarter 9 or 10. You can start to invest more in them as you see that you're getting attacked by more alchemists or healers, something like that. But you don't really have to upgrade this structure in the beginning. The next thing is the Catapult. Catapult is very important. Catapult takes the least amount of coins at each level, and the upgrade time is reasonable, and it's probably the most useful structure in the early game. It does splash damage, and right here it says the DPS is 4, and that's because its attack speed is very low. It takes about 5 seconds to attack. So you can take that and multiply by 5, which is 20 damage. 20 damage in the early game can kill a lot of troops. I'm not sure if it's 5 seconds or even longer. If it takes longer, the damage is even higher. But it can basically one-shot archers at the same level. So that's very good in early game, because in early game most people attack you with warriors and archers, and they can get one-shotted by this, and it's very effective attacking a group of troops. However, they will not target hero, but their attack will damage the hero. And on top of just having a big damage, they also kind of have a pushback, a knockback effect on troops and heroes, which will disrupt their animation, stop their attack, and move them back. So they will have to move again and then start to attack. So it will, sometimes this could waste the attacker's time and possibly kill the hero before he get to attack. So that is also very, very important. For the catapult, obviously you don't have to level your catapult to have that effect. You leveling up is just going to increase its HP and damage overall. So highly recommend to upgrade this defense as your first priority. The last one to talk about today is the Alchemist Tower. So the Alchemist Tower is, again, another splash damage structure. It will attack both ground and stealth troop. Has a relatively low DPS, but it attacks very fast, so that makes up for it. Has a higher HP compared to the other building at level 1. It takes a long time to upgrade. The Alchemist Tower probably takes the longest, no, not the longest, but relatively long time and relatively high cost in coins to upgrade. So it's another very important building to have. Similar to the Catapult, it's very effective against lower HP and groups of troops. Since the Catapult can attack farther range and not close range, you want to have an Alchemist Tower accompanying it, so that the Alchemist Tower could also target the closer troops. So this is again a very good structure to invest in the early game, because it has area damage against a group of troops. And in the beginning, early stage, you only get attacked by a group of warriors, maybe even a bunch of heavy cavalries and a bunch of archers. And the Catapult and Alchemist Tower are very effective to fight against them. So what I did is I basically always maxed out my Catapult at each headquarter level. And then I will do the Alchemist Tower, but Alchemist Tower, as I said, they cost way more at a higher level, cost a lot of coins, cost a lot of time. So I'll still try to keep them up as high as possible. But after that, after the Catapult, and then I'll focus on the Alchemist Tower, and then I'll focus on either the Archer Tower or the Meteor Crossbow. The early game, they're pretty much the same, so it doesn't matter, just upgrade them evenly, that'll be fine. And then after that, if I have extra resource, I'll upgrade the Giant Cannon evenly again, just so that they're not too underlevel and their color will kind of fit into the rest of the structure. So this is it for this video. The next video, we'll talk about different or stronger defense structure that you can get at a higher headquarter level. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.